Unlimited power!
Hello there everybody, welcome to How It's Made, the making of May the 4th the movie. I wanted to put this together because it seems to be the big thing at the moment, you know, getting the opportunity to talk to the writers, the directors, the actors, and in this particular instance I am the vast majority of those people. But nah, I mean, you see Game of Thrones do it, don't they? Game of Thrones did it. Game of Thrones is a big deal. This is a big deal. And you know what? We've actually got a better ending than Game of Thrones. I like to think, anyway. So yeah, this is it. This is how it's made. We're going to go behind the scenes. We're going to have a look at what we did, what we could have done, what we should have done, what we might do next. So enjoy the ride. Here we go. So, Callum, hi. How's it going?
It's good. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm all right. And you're the Callum Shanklin credited in May the 4th the movie, aren't you?
That is correct.
You are one of the stars of the film.
Third billing.
How does that make you feel?
Being involved in the film or the level of my billing? I think it's an accurate. I think third is fair.
Yeah.
In terms of screen time.
Okay.
Being part of the film. Yeah. It wasn't really something I volunteered for.
But you weren't unhappy about it.
I wasn't unhappy about it. No. In the film, as you can see, that wasn't. I had some issues and some reservations.
Now, a lot of people ask me, what's the point? Why would you make a movie about May the 4th? Does that make any sense? And I suppose, obviously, you've got to look back on what I've done in previous years. You know, the daily posting from the 4th of May up until the end of the month. And obviously it evolved in a very, very big way. I think I got caught up in it in a way that I never imagined possible. But as to why I'd make a movie this time round, I think the origins of that really lie in last year. It was a lot more video heavy last year. I wanted to take a bit of a different approach, and I thought that I could do something a bit more innovative with video. And I felt that I succeeded. But as with everything on social media, all that counts is the amount of likes you get. And the video stuff I didn't get very many likes. Wasn't terribly popular. But if there's one thing that's important to me about this whole May the 4th business, it's making it exclusive. It's about making the people that get it feel like they're worthy for having got it. So I thought, well, fuck it, I'll double down. I'll make it as difficult to get as I possibly can. So most people won't understand half the jokes. A lot of the jokes can't even really be called jokes by the strictest definition. And of course it's nearly an hour long. So if you want to appreciate it at all, you've kind of got to watch the whole thing. Particularly because of the structure, but we'll come back to that in a minute. It was important to me when doing this that I brought back all of the key players. So one of the obvious candidates there was my detective character, Sherbet Fumes. That being said, out of all of my characters last year, the Sherbet Fumes stuff got the worst reception by a massive margin. Now, alright, I know my intention was to double down on the unpopular stuff in order to make this exclusive, but at the same time, the Sherbet Fumes shit just wasn't working. So I decided I was going to do something a little bit different with regards to that, and that meant having Sherbet Fumes on the down and out. Sherbet Fumes in a moment of crisis. I'm not entirely happy with the way in which that went, but at the same time I think the ending was strong. You know, we killed him off in a powerful way. Having him taken out by the Narm squad, I feel, was a poetic ending for Fumes. It's the way he would have wanted to go. In the original script, the Detective Egg character was going to actually play a much bigger role. He was going to be in it much more frequently. But the difficulty is that, although Egg is an incredibly talented actor, he's a bugger to direct. He just won't sit still when you want him to. He doesn't take instruction well, so I had to cut a lot of that stuff, unfortunately.
Hi, I'm Molly Burns, and I was part of the production team for May the 4th movie. I was one of the only female members of staff on the team, And that's why I was so thrilled to be allowed to also have a role in the production, in front of the screen as well as behind. I play Luigi, the brother Luigi. I spent probably 3 to 4 hours per day in makeup.
The Alfonso Spaghetti stuff was one of the more difficult bits to film for a number of reasons. Thankfully, I was assisted by my sister, Molly. She did a lot of camera work, but she also played the role of my brother Luigi. I mean, the main difficulty was that, as with any of these spaghetti sequences, I had to actually cook something, and the pasta pizza was a fucking monstrosity. As I'm sure you all saw, that pineapple cottage cheese in particular was nasty as hell. It was a struggle, but I think ultimately it's rewarding. I mean, most of the feedback that I've had about the spaghetti side of things has been very, very positive, which is really encouraging.
What was your favourite bit?
Trying to watch you cut pizza repetitively and failing. Fab.
Yeah, yes. I mean, who's your favourite character?
Oh, I love spaghetti. I always will do.
Well, I mean, that seems to be a common theme, so
Yeah,
I'm
we love
glad
a
you
bit of
said that.
spaghetti.
Thankfully, it was really easy to know what to do with Palpatine. I decided quite early on in the development of the movie that Theresa May was going to be the main villain, so it made a perfect amount of sense, particularly bearing in mind where we left him during last year's May the 4th, for Palpatine to be pursuing the Conservative Party leadership. I also knew that I wanted to make Palpatine a focal point of some of the musical numbers, so from a scripting point of view, that was very, very easy. From a production point of view, it was a bloody nightmare. As those of you who will have watched the movie will have noticed, I can't really sing. I certainly can't keep time. I have no rhythm whatsoever. There's a reason they used to call me MC Offbeat. Just meant there were a hell of a lot of takes of all of that. So, thank you to my long-suffering camera people.
I'm reviewing the situation. I'm a bad un and I shall stay. You'll be seeing no transformation, but it's wrong to be a rogue in every way. I don't want nobody hurt for me or made to do the dirt for me. This rotten life is not for me. It's getting far too hot for me. There is no in-between for me, but who will change the scene for me? I fucked it. Right at the end, I fucked it.
Do you feel like you should have had more creative input? Do you feel like that would have improved?
I think it would have helped a lot. Not necessarily to the storyline, but I think as far as smoothing some things out, I think it could have been quite beneficial in a lot of ways. But, it's not my film, is it?
What would you have done differently?
What would I have done differently? It's a very good question, actually. More rap numbers, I think.
Thanks, Becky.
Said. More raps. Maybe when we're doing entire full-length songs from films, we could have just tweaked the lyrics a bit to be more applicable to the scene. Rather than just doing "Be Prepared for Lion King."
That would have been a lot of effort. Actually,
Okay, I would have changed the amount of effort put in. How does that sound?
that seems fair.
So, yeah, I said we talk about the structure, and I think now's probably the best opportunity to do just that. I did have a script for this, and I threw it out. I think that I have more fun with it when I'm improvising this stuff. It doesn't necessarily lead to better quality work, but let's be honest, this entire project was self-indulgent. So my fun is the most important thing here. As a result, the structure is a complete shambles. The beginning of the film goes on for about 30 minutes of the 52-minute runtime. Then we have about 10 minutes of main plot, and the final 10 minutes is sort of a confused mess of endings and just other arbitrary shit that's just been thrown at the screen. And that's the way, I like it.
Hi B, how's it going?
I'm alright, how are you, Charles?
Yeah, I'm alright, sir, I'm alright. So, Made the Fourth the movie, you were a key part in the production, weren't you?
Thank you very much, yes, I did dabble a little bit.
And I mean, how do you feel about that? You enjoy it?
Oh, it was hilarious, especially, you know, having to do takes again when camera and phone interrupted and all of that stuff. Yeah, it was great.
I mean, you think that really added to the experience?
Oh, 100%, the outtakes were fab.
And so, I mean, you were involved in the production, but what did you think of the finished result?
I think it was beautiful, I thought it was hilarious, and my mum loved it.
Man, we're on set, man. What's going on? Thank you. Oh, you're a prick.
What?
Yes, fuck's sake. Oh, you're such a bellend.
One thing I fundamentally disagreed with was the casting of Detective Egg. Now, the director thought it'd be a fantastic decision to actually cast a cat in the role. Whereas I thought, you know, a dog could do the same job, especially as there is only one cat actor really qualified, and that's Egg Burns, who, as we all know, is a misogynist.
I think the issues we faced with Wendy are symbolic of the underlying problems with the entire production. The reason I wanted to do something with Wendy is just to show how attitudes have changed. I mean, she's my oldest character. I came up with her when I was 13, 14. And obviously it's 2019 now. I wouldn't create a character called Wendy Jemima Pufter in this day and age. But I mean, does that say more about me and how I've grown up, or does that say something about the change in attitudes as time's gone on? I don't really know, and to be honest, I don't think we did a very good job of exploring that. I think it caused a lot of controversy, and that wasn't really my intention. So, you know, if I have to apologise for that, I'd like to take this opportunity to do that now.
What's happening?
Well, we're filming the making of documentary, so you've not seen the film, right, Sigourney?
No, that's correct. I've not seen it.
Why haven't you seen it?
I didn't know it existed until yesterday.
I mean, what do you expect from the movie?
I'm expecting great things. I saw you perform a line yesterday, and my expectations up here. Basically, don't laugh. Why are you laughing? Do you have confidence in your film or not?
I mean, I have confidence if you have confidence, but I don't want you to be disappointed.
Okay, well, yeah.
I'm going to be honest with you here, I've got very little to say about Lex Dexter. He was a relatively late addition to the film. He's clearly a very poorly developed character. I hope to do something better with him in future, but I didn't really know where I was going with Lex most of the time, and the fact that I settled on the whole Mike Gape's milk thing was more just out of convenience than any particular inspiration. So, to be honest, the less said about Lex Dexter, the better.
Yes, so, yeah, having someone like Egg on the team, I felt was possibly the worst thing to happen to gender equality since, well, the Spice Girls.
I've got a golden ticket. I've got a golden sun up in the sky. Good morning. Look at the sun. What's happened? For fuck's sake.
No!
I don't. What? What happened? What?
Oh, it was going so well.
I mean, sort of, where do you think the franchise goes from now? I mean, we killed the Prime Minister. Like, we did do that.
I mean, it was about time.
We defeated Theresa May
Yeah.
in the biggest way possible. So what's next for May the 4th?
Do you know what? Has anyone else got any input for this?
No.
What's next?
It's
it
your
has to
interview.
carry on. Yes, but I don't know where we go from here.
Shut up,
Because
Pete.
I hate her and she's gone.
Yeah, bet.
So that worked out.
Yeah,
maybe
boy.
just do like a feature-length film about Sam.
But is Boris a better candidate?
And then we.
I feel
No,
like the
but
feature
okay,
length
right.
could be probably
Okay.
featured.
No, all the different candidates that are trying to now go forward for the
Is
for the
Boris
leader.
better, though? That's the question.
I mean, I couldn't even begin to count them, let alone do shit about all
Michael
of them.
Gove can shove it.
Yeah, but he is more than likely going to be our next Prime Minister.
He ruined my teaching life.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay, we have
he's-
now
he's-
diverted.
Well, yeah. I mean, like we don't want to spend all night talking about politics, but yeah. So, you know, thank you for your work. You know,
Thank
it really
you
was
for yours, pal.
appreciated. And thanks for contributing to this.
Oh, hello! I am Carlos Manchego. I am your Spanish. No, okay, forget.
Charlie, do you want to be out of Shrek?
I've got the stature. Oh, power. Oh, bollocks. It's taking all over my lap.
Okay.
Somebody once told me the world was off.
You don't look like Farquaad though.
The best part is the mayonnaise on his knee.
I ain't your shop with two.
I have a warning. We have Shrek the Third,
No.
Fuck you.
Shrek the something I can't
Second.
read, and Shrek the Second. We don't have the original,
Second.
but the second.
The second one is the best one.
the best one.
Thank you. The second is the best one.
I'm
You're
gonna
saying
pick up
that.
these chicken nuggets.
Max volume.
Charlie, would you be an ogre or a normal person?
It's all ogre now. It's all ogre now.
Shut up.
So, I mean, the big question is now, you know, the movie's out. It's getting lots of critical acclaim.
Yeah.
Technically speaking, we've only had one bad review so far, and that was Niall.
Yeah.
I hope I'll be speaking to him later,
We'll
trying to
convince
get
him
his
otherwise, I'm
perspective
sure.
on things. But what's sort of next? You know, where does this leave you? What opportunities as being one of the stars of this film afford you going forward?
Well, I've already had a bit of contact for the Game of Thrones sequel.
Yeah.
So they're interested.
Cool.
Beyond that, I mean, obviously there's got to be a sequel to this.
Well, yeah,
There's
yeah.
so much
I mean,
more. We've got so many different tangents to go. I think this, in a lot of ways, is the beginning of a cinematic universe.
well,
so
I mean,
many characters.
I'd be inclined to agree with you there. You know, and beyond the immediate cinematic universe stuff, there are rumours that you've been connected to a project in the works called Bear Force.
Yeah.
Apparently, you were up for potentially playing the bear.
The bear. Yeah. I'm really hoping, fingers crossed, that I will get the part of the bear. I don't know how much we can go into details on it, but keep your eyes peeled for Bear Force. All right, guys, it's coming. It's going to be a furry rage of a film. Nothing to do with furries, but there will be fur.
Well, you know, that seems more than reasonable, doesn't it?
More fur, less furries. That's the tagline.
That I mean, I'm not sure about that as a tagline. I think it could be a little bit divisive. I think that, to be honest, in this day and age, if Sonic the Hedgehog has proved anything, it's that you need to appeal to the furry market in order to succeed.
Yeah, they do get angry. So angry. I guess it's quite hot in the suits.
Sonic fans in
Their
particular
blood's
have problems, as we all know.
Yeah.
That's a distinct thing.
We'll be better. Bear Force will be better than Sonic.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you think about like, what are the May the 4th fanboys like? What are they like? I mean, have you had any interactions with fans?
Yeah, one or two. So far, all quite positive. Like, you know, we love our fans. They love us. That's great. Without them, we wouldn't be here, and without us, they wouldn't be fans. So,
That's true. That's true.
So it's quite symbiotic in that way.
Yeah.
I don't know. There was a few. I was in Sainsbury's yesterday, and was just. It's
Oh,
more about,
the Italiano region of
the
Sainsbury's.
Italiano region, and you know, it wasn't a negative experience, but when all you're trying to do is buy some falafel, and you're getting bombarded of, you know, what happened behind the scenes, what's next, sort of things. You know, I'm still a regular guy.
Well, hopefully this documentary will give the fans some insight into what's been going on.
I think that's important as well, because, you know, that when I watch shows I like and films I like, the behind the scenes are one of my favourite things. So.
I think the thing is, even though you're playing yourself in the movie, it's easy for the fans to forget that you are a real person.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
You know, a lot of the characters in that are essentially cartoons, and you're not. You know,
I'm not. I'm flesh and blood.
Exactly, and other things besides.
I think actually, on the back to the subject of what I would change, I would have liked to have been a Marvel Paint character. Not
Well-
Marvel Paint, MS Paint.
Yeah.
would've
Well,
liked to
I mean,
slipped
maybe that's something we can, look at for next time round.
I just always wanted to be CGI'd, you know?
Well, yeah, I mean, our CGI budget was, as you saw, very, very low.
Yeah, that's why there were no direwolves and we didn't interact with the direwolves.
Well, yeah. I mean, we didn't interact with the direwolves we didn't have because
Yeah.
you can't eat a cake you haven't got.
Yeah, exactly.
For me, it was always going to be art or the history of art. I'm not saying I'll make history with my art. Art is history in the making. You can't have your cake and eat it. A cake can easily... I once did a painting of history.
And so that really is the end of that. This was How It's Made. I've been Charles Burns. I am Charles Burns. I'm not going to stop being Charles Burns just because this is over. And I know it's the 31st of May today, but because I didn't get a chance to say it before, may the 4th be with you.
Oh shit, I'm alive. Oh yeah. That's all, folks. Bye.